Yo, what up, people? Welcome to the Joe McFo Show live stream. Today, we're going to go back to our Shadowboxers crew today. And what I realized over the last couple of streams is it has been a while since we've done our character poses. So I thought we would continue on with that. I always have fun doing them because you guys know I'm a character guy and these are my kids, despite the fact that some of these characters are older than me or in this case one. But anyway, um, I wanted to do that. We got Megan in the chat. Hello, Megan. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming on. And let me get some music on. I just realized that we haven't been playing anything. So let's get some music. And Manette is on. Hi, fan. What's up, Manette? Thank you for coming on. So yes, we're going to be doing that today. We're going to be doing some character stuff. Although I noticed that in this photo or in this drawing, these series of drawings, there is one particular young pink wearing girl that is just missing, and somehow we just neglected Kayla. So I want to do a drawing of Kayla specifically. We'll probably get to another one or two, but I want to do Kayla specific because I think this could make like a cool poster or something, or the makings of one, despite the fact that it wasn't intended to be a poster, but it just looks cool to me. So yeah. Oh, what's up, Mark? Thank you for coming on. Good morning, and evening. Well, yeah, it's evening for us, morning for you. I know it's got to be 4 something. Okay, can you guys hear the music all right? Because I'm having trouble hearing it, but that could just be me on my end. All right, so we're back in Clip Studio Paint just because that's where all the stuff in the files are. So I'm going to get rid of these, and we're going to start with a brand new sketch of Kayla. And I found a reference that we're going to use. I saw this one on my Pinterest, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of fun. I like this." And just this jumping, excited kind of pose. So I felt like it was fitting. So we're going to use that as a reference for today, and let's get it cracking. But anyway, how is everyone's week going? Did everyone do okay? Did anyone watch either the Barbie movie or the Oppenheimer movie or anything like that? I know that's been going around and has been making the rounds, so I'm very, very curious. I personally did not see it. I actually have no real personal interest in seeing either of those movies. Even though I heard good things about them both, I just, don't really care. Doesn't mean I won't see it if I'm asked or something, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just remembering like a tool where you could hit a button and it automatically just turns to like a light blue, like a non-photo blue type of thing. Does anyone know how to find that? I don't know where to find that. It's not a big deal, but yeah. All right, Mark says music is fine. Okay, good. All right, so let's start with Kayla. One thing I'm going to try and do as much as possible is I'm going to try and mimic the advice that Megan gave me earlier today, which is push it further. So, after seeing Spider-Man into this Across the Spider-Verse, and yes, I did that on purpose, I was just really inspired about how unique some of the shape language was in those characters, like how much they exaggerate, but it still feels consistent. Like you see Kingpin, and you see Miguel, and you see Miles, and you see Penny, and there's all these characters that kind of they have a very different look, but yet they're still consistent despite the fact that they're in these unique universes. So I want to try and find a way to see how I can enhance these characters in such a way. I don't know what that means just yet. I don't know how, but I think it'd be fun. I believe that's called a draft layer. It's one of the layer options, if I understand correctly. Oh, is it? Okay, let's see. Draft layer. If I do that, that's not it. Draft layer. Can I search it? No, it doesn't look like it. It's honestly not a big deal. I was just curious. I just noticed it was missing, or I think I might have seen a tutorial of someone using Clip Studio and they had it, but yeah, it's not a big deal. I'll still be able to work. All right. So let me get my pose of Kayla down. Okay, so I'm just gonna try and be as loose as I can in this early stage. Like I never really draw with a brush this large, especially this early on. I'm usually very tight, but I kind of want to try something different. I just want to see how I can explore, because especially when it comes to things like doing the comic and all that, there's going to be a lot of time to, work with the characters and everything. And I just want to explore a little bit, see what options I have for these characters. Current hydration count. Yep, we're on one. We're on one right now. So we'll see where we at by the end of the stream. One of these days we'll do like a 24-hour stream or something and just see how many times we have to do that. I'm totally kidding. We're not doing a 24-hour stream. We're not even doing that. Unless I hit like 100,000 or 200,000 subscribers or something, and there's like a bunch of people watching my live streams. That's the only situation I would do something like that. And I'd have to figure that out because I also have a job. like I don't even know how that would work. All right, so let me push forward Kayla's head. So the thing with this pose is it feels much more like an adult. If I look at her frame, it's much, much smaller than what I've done. But I do like the overall bend and how this is going so far. So this is a good sign. I'm actually going to look for a reference. Did I close it? All right, I did. What was his name? There was this artist I was looking at who did a drawing that, what was the name of this guy? He was like something Kevin, and he worked on the Spider-Verse stuff. Kevin. If I just type in oh wait, no, I get Kevin Feige if I type in Spider-Verse Kevin. Dang it. Kevin Amis something. Amygdala. Oh my gosh, Google is not helping right now. Amharic. There it is. Amharic. You see why I couldn't remember it. I'll show you the image I'm talking about in a second. I just need to pull it up. This particular one right here. Love this image. It is so cool, especially Paviter Prabhakar, whatever. The way is this all I can get? I need to get a closer view. I need a close-up. There we go. Yeah, especially the way that his torso is kind of coming this way and leaning back like this. The small arms. Look at this arm. I don't even think this is actually possible. I think his arm is disconnected behind his head. But this in particular is just so, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Yep, we're on two hydration checks. Farmer Fox is on. What's up, Farmer Fox? Thank you for coming on the live stream. And typical me, we got to talk about these guys. All right, so I got my reference now. I pulled that up specifically for how they did the ribcage because I'm looking at Kayla right now and how I can use the reference and the pose to my advantage, kind of combining the two. And that's a lot of the challenge when it comes to taking photos from reference or taking a pose from reference and using that. You want it to look good, but you also want it to be you don't want to be so prohibited that you miss out on doing something epic. So our limbs are going to be much smaller. Kathy's on. What's up, fam? Farmer Fox says, loving that pose. Excellent. I'm glad you love this pose. This is going to be a fun one, I think. Yeah, this back arm has given me some trouble. I don't like this soft brush. All right. So we can have her hand do this. One thing I really want to play with is my straights versus curves. I've talked about shape language a lot before, but I want to see if I can emphasize the speed at which she's moving. So one of the things I also learned from drawings such as this one right here is just how fast some of these characters feel just by the location of where they put curves versus straight lines. So I think it's most prominent in him in this particular pose, especially if you look at like his leg here. There's just a weight that is really crucial to this pose. So I'm trying to, you guys are seeing me study from my favorites. Oh my gosh, Amanda, you made it! Oh my gosh! Hey, Joe McFam, long time no see. Where you been? We missed you. We missed you. Streams didn't feel the same without you here. All right, so now I got that pose. Let's do a slightly cleaner sketch. Just, again, worry about capturing the pose. That's really all I'm worried about right now. Hold on. What's the best way to do this? One thing I don't like about Clip Studio, though, is that whenever I paste an image, it doesn't do it in the center. It just does it in the top left corner automatically. I don't know if there's a way to change that, but it's rather annoying. It's rather annoying to me. Okay. Where's my brush? All right, cool. All right, so we're getting the large, roundish head from Kayla. She didn't have a lot of that's what am I saying? Sharp features. The other S word. Doesn't have a lot of sharp features, but I still want her to feel like she's speedy. So, gonna have it with a small rib cage because she's 12 years old. She's supposed to be a very small frame. So one thing you'll see me doing is something that I learned from Ethan Becker, who brought it up in Ryu Keon's work, where oftentimes you'll see him do poses and the torso is kind of doing something like this. I don't know what shape this is. It's like, it's some type of polygon. What is that? A lumpy potato or some sort of noodle? I'm not, like a pasta noodle? I'm not really sure, but this pose is very, very famous. You'll see a lot of Ryu Keon's work. So I'm trying to take cues from there. I think it's also present in the drawing I was just showing you guys a moment ago. And then let's see what happens if we do a sharp line here. Curved line here. And I don't know if it's going to work. I might reverse this. I might make this one curved and this one straight, but just experimenting. Man, this is, I've been so busy putting on a new floor in my house, dealing with rascally nephews and vacation, baby. Oh man, that does sound intense. Well, we forgive you. We forgive you. We're glad you made it back. Everything here's been kind of status quo. Just drawing, drinking lots of water, having fun, joking around, watching me mess up on my drawings. That's about it. All right, so let's do Actually, let's do something like this. Let's make this a straight edge. And then we'll come in here and soften up that arm here. And I'm not sure I like how this back is reading. It might be more like this. By the way, guys, I just recently saw a movie called Nimona. It's on Netflix. I'm curious if anyone else has seen the movie and what their thoughts are on it. Now, I will say this. I think visually speaking, it is absolutely stunning. I don't know if you guys are familiar, if we even want to talk about it, so I can just show you. But apparently it's based off of a graphic novel. The graphic novel look is so different. Like, this is what it looked like when it came out. Apparently, the person who created it was also a showrunner on She-Ra and some other show that was also on Cartoon Network. But this is what it looks like now in the film. Very much kind of what's that movie? Klaus. It's very much like Klaus in a lot of ways in terms of the visual style. But this character, Nimona, she was such a wild card, just super funny and chaotic. Like, I can't really say anything for her personality outside the fact that she was absolute chaos at every moment. But it was a lot of fun. You know, it was a very fun movie. So I'm curious what y'all thought if you've seen it. Elbow cough. This emoji is called elbow cough, but I'm dabbing. You know, unfortunately, it just says elbow cough. I don't know if it's showing up the same way on your screen as it is mine, but it just says elbow cough. I'm vaguely familiar. I started the graphic novel years ago, but never got around to finishing it. I don't have Netflix, but the color palettes look so good. Yeah, honestly, I don't know if they have an art book for it, but I would buy the art book purely for the color palettes and for the color keys, stuff like that. Like that type of thing is really, really exciting for me. And the world building was really cool too, because it was like a mix of futuristic sci-fi with medieval. So you have people using swords, they're wearing knight's armor. Matter of fact, one of the main characters is wearing knight's armor the entire film. And yet they have lasers and they have flying cars and stuff like that. And none of that's a spoiler. You see it in the first few seconds. Megan says, I've had the graphic novel for years, haven't seen the movie yet, though. Yeah, well, based on what I saw on this, so I looked up the synopsis of the graphic novel because obviously I didn't read that. Apparently, it's very, very different. I mean, you still have elements of Nimona teaming up with the Knight dude, but there's it seems like there's a lot of changes, which I guess is typical in Hollywood or in a big film production. I don't know how much the movie cost to make, but I imagine it was definitely, almost at least close to 100 million or something like that, or 50 million. I don't know how much it costs. Okay, let's look it up before I eat my own words. Let's spell the name correctly, Jordan. I put no Mona. How much did it cost? Wiki. Where are you? Oh, it doesn't even have the budget. Oh, that's right. They never released the budget for next Netflix films. They never do that, as far as I remember. Oh, well. That futuristic tech stuff in a period piece animation reminds me of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Oh, goodness gracious. Megan, your time has come. You want to rag me in the comments a little bit more? Go ahead. Go for it. It's your time. We ain't at 1,000 subs yet. We're close. We're at 845 last I checked, which is not small. So for those of you guys who are either watching now or will watch in the future and are subscribed, thank you for helping me grow this channel. It means so much to me. Especially because most of what I do is Shadowboxers, and you guys don't even know the story. I haven't even told y'all anything, and y'all are just like invested, which is really, really cool. And that means the world to me. I think this arm will be lower, maybe. Where's my photo reference? Let's pull this down. Bam. 8:46 now. Oh snap! Wait, did you just subscribe, Amanda? Did you just subscribe? Thank you if you did, but come on now. I thought you were subscribed already. This Full Metal Alchemist sounds very interesting. Maybe you can explain why everyone should watch it. 7 watching, 5 likes, guys. Oh, man. We need 2 more likes. 2 people are not liking the video. Maybe you actually don't like the video, but I don't care if you don't like the video. Like it. It does help the channel grow when you guys do that. And it just leaves a good impression for people who watch these later. You know, it's like, oh, this was actually a fun stream. Maybe I'll join. Amanda says, I've been subscribed. Oh, okay, good. Just making sure. Just making sure. Well, that means we have a mystery subscriber. So that mystery subscriber, whoever you may be, thank you very much. All right, so now let's try and get Kayla's clothes on her. So she's got this short little jacket. I can't even call it a jacket. It's more like a vest, really. Massive collar on here. And then your chest. Curve the back. This is exactly why you want to have the body sketched out first before you do anything with clothes, because of moments like this. This is not an easy pose to pull off. There's quite a few challenges here. Matter of fact, speaking of pose, I think this leg might be a little on the long side. Yeah. This arm too might need to be shortened just a wee bit. All right. And then just like this lady in the reference, we can have the hair going everywhere. Kayla's got the big ol' afro. Let's say something like this. Drawing Kayla in this view is interesting because you don't really see it that much with her giant hair strand here. Okay. So let's do Kayla's face. She'd probably be more than happy to be jumping like this. Alright, we got the arm here. Elbow. Okay, so it looks like her arm is going to be covered by the hair. So I wonder, maybe I should do like how the pose was and just have her arm do this back there. I think that'd make more sense. Okay, and then here, you get a reference for the waist. And then that leg, I can move that leg up a little bit if I wanted to. right, let's get the shorts. Here we go. By the way, for those of you guys who saw my latest video that came out about the being a failure, um, I hope you all enjoyed it because that video, believe it or not, was recorded back in like September, October, and I didn't upload it. Well, okay, it was filmed then, but I didn't finish the editing until like the day of the release. And I'll be honest, guys, a lot of it was just because I was afraid to post it. There was definitely some anxiety that came in about it, and especially given the topic. And I was like, you know how you can be self-defeating when you want to when you talk about not being concerned about failure and then having a hard time putting out that video, like that constant loop which is going in my head. I was like, well, you know, if you're not gonna put it out, then that makes you a failure and blah blah blah. And I had a hard time reeling with that for a couple of months. So for those who watched it and got something out of it, I'm glad you did, because it actually took quite a bit out of me. Yeah, the next video will come much sooner than that, than this unintended break, because I didn't realize it had been a year since I put out an edited video. That was rather tragic. But at least we've been doing the live streams consistently. Live streams have been consistent, which I'm rather proud of. Mark of Art says, sounds like you failed at posting the video on time. I did. Well, I didn't even have a time limit. It was just I was holding off on posting it because I was afraid that the video wouldn't do well or people wouldn't resonate with it. And, you know, it's just the irony of the whole situation. The only reason I'm bringing it up is because, you know, I want to be transparent with you guys and stuff like that. But it definitely was bizarre watching it again, because I had it in my files, you know, I just hadn't watched it since I recorded it basically. And I was like, man, I need to just get this video out, because there's just no point in having this old footage. And it's not like I can just, if I re-recorded it, it would have, you know, I would have had to do the entire thing again, because the place where I filmed it, I moved, you know, I don't live there anymore. And so I'm like, man, I'd have to, you know, maybe I'd have to just re-record and just pretend like I'm saying it all again and stuff. And it's like, nah, just put out what you got. And it also took me a long time to go through the editing. That's also what the challenge is. Editing, and for those of you who don't know, it takes a very, very long time. And I don't have AI helping me out with it. So yeah, it's definitely a challenge. Thank you for the support, Kathy. If anyone hasn't watched it, you better. Yes, please watch it. It's the last video I uploaded on the channel. I think I put it out on Wednesday. And I know a couple of you have seen it and have commented on it, but I appreciate it very, very much if you are one of those people. But yeah, it was a very sincere video that came from the heart. Came from all my heart pieces. Okay, so let's. Not a fan of her chin right now. Something feels off with it. Her whole face right now just feels weird. But on the bright side, I think this pose is getting there. Looks like her feet are on the small side. And I probably need to rotate this foot a bit. And the other thing I just realized I forgot to count how many heads she was, so I might even have proportions are slightly off. Kayla's a little bit challenging because she's the only one who doesn't go by the 8 head canon. She has a totally different proportion system because of her size. She's got child proportions, while all the other characters, Jade, Natana, Mashaka, Aletha, etc., are all 8 heads tall. I believe I should have it here somewhere. Mark of Art says failure is good. Remember, yeah, I had to remind myself of that. You know, yeah, that's the challenge right there. Whoa, what the heck? There we go. So you know what I need to do? I need to just screenshot this right now so I can always have a reference of how tall Kayla is. Because I always forget. Matter of fact, where were the height lines? Let's do this instead. Yeah, let's get the height on top. There we are. All right, now I don't need you. Thank you for your service, Photoshop. Now let's put Kayla height chart. Height chart. There's no letter C in there. Kayla height chart. All right, so it looks like she's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 heads tall. Proportions are slightly different. So let's compare this to what we got here. Matter of fact, what I'll do, I'm going to replace this image with the height chart. I should have done this so long ago, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. Okay, so we got her head. Her head actually looks a little tall. Maybe that's part of the problem. Like it needs to be scrunched just a bit more. Okay. So we got 1, 2. That feels about right. 3. 3 should be about here, it seems. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 5. Okay, so just a couple of little anatomical stuff. I think it's just this leg might need to be raised up a tiny bit. And then technically it seems like her torso might have been a little long, but I don't know. I question whether I should change that. By doing this, I get some better negative space, so we'll do that. Okay, and then her neck is nice and long. Everyone's so quiet today. Y'all must have had a tiring week or something. Y'all usually a little more talkative. It's all right. I'll talk to myself, which is what I basically do anyway. I often wonder like how streamers like look on the outside. You know, like if you were to just like overhear someone stream but not be a part of it or watching the stream, like how that sounds. Probably sound like you're just talking to yourself for 2 hours straight and all that. Like it's a very weird feeling. It's very, very weird. Okay, Kayla's not looking too bad. she did this. Wait. Her thumb is going inward on the bottom. Like this. How do you do that? My excuse is that it's 4 a.m. Fair enough. Sorry, I'm pretty wiped. Do you ever find yourself talking out loud when you're not streaming just out of habit? Not full conversations like this. No, I might remind myself of something out loud, but I never really talk out loud. That's probably, I don't know. It could be a good or a bad thing. I've heard the most creative people are usually the ones who talk to themselves. So if I'm an artist and I don't really talk to myself, maybe that says something. Maybe not as creative as I ought to be or something. But yeah, no, I figured you guys were tired. Okay, I'll describe Full Metal Alchemist. Oh my gosh, when was that comment made? Let me see. It's like 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. The 5 nations lived together in harmony, then everything changed when the people of Xerxes attacked. Only the sage of the West could stop them. Megan, how accurate is it? How accurate is that? Also, I guess when you say 4 nations or several nations living in harmony, it's close enough. AI would have caught that, probably. Would have caught and done something special with it. All right. So let's go in. Let's do it. I don't know if this is going to be completely cleaned up, but we'll make it clean enough. I wanted to try out this, what do you call it? Is it the G Pen? The real G Pen. I think I've used it a couple times before, but I just want to experiment with it now and just see. Okay, so if I look real closely, Kayla has very soft features. Everything just kind of flows like water. Be water, my friends. As a Bruce Lee reference, for those of you who do not know, it was not the other thing that has to do with water. That's right there. You can't see what that is. Yeah. Not that. I'm prepping to sell my stuff at an artist convention for the first time. Oh, that's exciting! I remember you telling me about that, but do you want to let others know what's going on with that situation? Oh, this is a cool little layout. I didn't think I did that. There we go. Let me see. I know I was working on it, then I had to go take my dog out. Megan's like, "It's not wrong." Sounds like another show with several nations and one nation attacked. Honestly, that's just world history. I think you're confusing all the shows of world history. Oh wait, we saw that one. That sounds fun, Megan, and stressful. That's awesome. I hope you make lots of money. So yes, there was a lot of stressful stuff to think about today, and I'm quite tired. Man, I guess no lazy Sundays for anybody, huh? What did I do today? I got up, I got some donuts, went on a walk, met up with an old friend who I hadn't seen in, oh man, that's been 7 years now, from college. He was visiting for a trip, and yeah, that's been my whole day, really. Actually, I had another conversation too. I had a couple of friends today, and I did some behind the scenes Shadowboxer stuff, as I tend to do. Okay, so it's looking good, but I think her chin is too sharp. It looks too adult. I want to get that roundness, so let's see if we can adjust that. As for the nations living in peace before one attack, I'll count it as a hydration, so now we're at 3. One of these days, when I'm like super rich from YouTube, we're gonna have like a whole counter on the side. And I'm gonna have an assistant who just like puts it, like pings it every single time uh, we need a hydration check. All right. I wonder if what happens if we just get her looking up a little bit more. Is that weird? See, her head still feels too adult. Let's see, can we shrink this? It's a little better. So yeah, this is again a cleaner sketch, but I don't know if it's going to be complete. Where's the expressions for Kayla? I need to see what her hair looks like. These probably need to be updated. I did these like 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, 2020 apparently. Man, seeing that date makes you feel like such a slow artist, guys. It's like, man, there's so much that has not been done for this project yet. And it's been 3 years since I did these expressions. Those, as long as you guys understand that you can't rush art like that guy in Toy Story 2 said, which is one of my favorite scenes in the movie. You guys know what I'm talking about? The one where he comes in to fix Woody because of like his busted arm or something. Yeah. That was one of my favorite scenes. It was just so satisfying seeing him use like the cotton and the alcohol, rubbing alcohol specifically, just in case YouTube tries to say something or whatever. But yeah, that was a great moment, and I'm pretty sure the dude who was in that was Jerry from The Short. Or you guys know the chess game short that Pixar did back in like '98 or something. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. He's hallucinating about playing himself in chess. You know how lonely you got to be to hallucinate yourself playing chess with yourself? That's got to be bizarre. We actually had a pretty cool convo about SV this morning, but I'm not sure if I can hint at anything. So many secrets. That's how I like them, because I'll be honest. One of the reasons I like them is because people like Mark will just take wild guesses and see if you can figure it out. And sometimes you're close, and sometimes you're like way far off, and it's just really fun to see what you guys are thinking. So part of it is just to watch you guys suffer a little bit. I did not have a very productive weekend. Went on a 1.5-mile hike with my dog, found a fossil by pure dumb luck, and made shortbread cookies and already ate most of them. How is that not a productive weekend? That sounds like quite a few things. But okay. Keep your secrets. I don't know if that's sarcasm or not, but I will until the time is right. Clara's on. What's up, Clara? Thank you for coming on my live stream. I appreciate you. Please like the video. I mean, it sounds very productive to me, especially the cookie part. Yeah, cookies are the most productive part of any day. It's just like when I went to get donuts this morning. That was one of the most productive moments. I got up, I got dressed, left my house, put on shoes, went on a walk, and got donuts. I mean, how much more productive do you need to be? Cookies are in the same universe. They're in the same multiverse. I know the theories are fun, but I want to give y'all something too. We'll see. Let me put it like this. If I shared all the secrets I could with you guys, you would be incredibly excited. But some things just need to be revealed at a certain time. That's all. But trust and believe, Shadowboxers is top of mind. Like you guys watch that Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark, and he's trying to figure out where the Ark went, and they respond. They say our top men are on it. And he's like, what top men or what men? He's like, our top men. That's kind of what's happening here. It's like the top information, top secret, but it's all good stuff. And shadow boxers, as far as I'm concerned, will not be locked away in a vault for thousands of years, never to be seen again until there's some sort of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull equivalent. Unless you are in England, cookies or biscuits, their estimation. I spent more time eating the cookies. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I kind of want cookies now. I don't have any vegan cookies on me. Only snack I have is chips and like sourdough bread. I gotta go to the grocery store. All right, we got Kayla's pocket right here. Hi, Claire. I was at Rizzy with Jordan, but I never had you as a teacher. My friends did, though, and always spoke very highly of you. Yes, we did. After we were your students, because you scared us to death. Yeah, Claire used to terrify our students. Not by saying anything, really, but just the demeanor. It was just like, oh my gosh, what do I do? I may or may not have contributed to that, but I guess it's okay now. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Cool. Try teaching a class of freshmen who are one, terrified, but two, also think they know everything. You gotta put your foot down from day one. Oh, did I think I knew everything? I don't remember. Maybe you know. Don't answer that. If you're gonna answer, just text it to me or something. I'm a little nervous now. I had a prof that used to make the students cry. Ended up making her cry. She'll never get to me. How did you make her cry? That sounds really interesting. What in the world? I don't know if I've ever made a teacher cry. I don't know what I would do to make them cry. Unless it's like tears of joy because I'm just so doggone amazing and successful. But somehow I don't think that was part of the conversation. Kind of like this real G pen when it's thick. Something about this is it's actually really satisfying. And obviously I can go in and just make those lines super clean. That collar is not right. Let's see. Haha, not you, Jordan, but there were enough to make it a problem if you didn't tell me you were the boss. Okay, I'm glad I was okay. I didn't want to be a problem. I don't like problems. Problems suck. I've I've had several teachers cry. I was evil to them. I kind of feel bad now since I'm a teacher. Oh my gosh, what in the world did you do? Not even the principal from Breakfast Club cried. Like, I'm trying to figure out what did you do to make them so upset and distraught. You probably made them quit. You were probably like one of those kids on TV shows who do everything they can to get their teacher fired, and then when they get fired, they feel so much remorse that they like beg for the teacher back or something. And that wasn't a movie or a show. I'm trying to remember what it was. Wasn't that '70s show? Wasn't the Cosby Show? Who was it? Oh, I think it was the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, where Vivian came and taught the history classes, and specifically for civil rights era Black history and stuff. And Will and Carlton hated it because they were overworked, and she kept assigning them more stuff. And I think they basically got her fired, if I remember correctly, or they just complained enough where she just ended up quitting instead. Can't remember the exact dynamic. It's been a while since I've seen that show. Hi, man. There's someone on the phone. I think she said her name is Karma. That's awesome. Had to properly quietly stare at us until we were quiet. It's a technique I used several times when I worked with kids because it was so effective. I remember times when I was in elementary school and study hall. Wait a second. This jacket is way too off. The size is weird. Yeah, this needs to be redone. Yeah, when I was a kid, we would have study hall in elementary school, and they had this rule where you started study hall in third grade and went to fifth grade. The third and fourth graders got out after 45 minutes. The fifth graders had to be in there for an hour. And I remember in, I think, the third or fourth grade, there was one teacher named Taylor, and I don't know what it was. I think she just had a hard time controlling all of us, so she just let us talk, but you're not really supposed to do that. And I remember years later that she would, I would say, "Hey, Taylor, how are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, you're like the best study hall teacher." And she just stared at me like, "Oh my gosh, it was terrible. I hated it so much. You guys were so out of control." And I was like, "Really? What are you talking about?" But then in the fifth grade, I remember we got this woman named Paige, and it was funny looking back because she was so young. Like she had to be like 21, but I bet she had like four younger siblings because she handled that room. She's like, "Hey, sit down, don't you dare move." And she was hardcore. She was hardcore, but you wouldn't expect it because her demeanor. She looked kind of like Rapunzel from Tangled or something. But hey, it worked. It worked. The power of silence. I did it all the time. Gets them to shut up really fast. I'm gonna stay away from school now, JK. What's up, man? Thank you for coming on, dude. Actually, the worst class I had wasn't the one that pushed back the most. It was a class that was so apathetic. It was super demoralizing. Yeah, we've talked about this on streams, Clara, where when it comes to feedback, the best or the worst ones aren't the ones with negative feedback. It's the ones where you have like nothing to say. Those are always really uncomfortable because you don't know how to fix that. It's like if it's not interesting to them, then you're gonna have a hard time. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what this round shape was this whole time. I forgot it was her backpack. Kayla's got a backpack that's not in this drawing, unfortunately, but that's okay. I remember enough. It's pretty simple, honestly. It's like a little turtle shell, and it's got a thing like this. It got to a point, even when I was fine with the kids talking about, I was just standing there because I'm a quiet person naturally. They'd start shushing. I don't know what it would be like teaching in person because I've only taught online, and also I teach at a college. My students are all very quiet in class, but I wonder if part of that is just because it's a Zoom class, and if you talk, it's just disruptive for everyone. So they might message each other and say things about me. I mean, not being privy to it. I don't know. I have no idea. No, I had one of my fifth grade earth science teachers quit when I questioned her about the legitimacy of her role as a teacher when she mixed up igneous rocks with sedimentary. She quit right there. Dang, okay, that is pretty brutal. That is really brutal. That totally sounds like an Eric Cartman move. You must have watched South Park as a kid. That sounds like an Eric Cartman thing to do.
What is your role as a teacher at this school?
I can totally see it. Let me just put these in. I used to teach students who were just a few years younger than me, and I'm the guy who's very early to everything. I go to class 10 minutes before time and sit in the back and just observe. To the average eye, I looked like one of the students, so it was always fun to see and hear them talk about the class and see the horror on their faces when I got up and started teaching. It only worked at the beginning of the semester, though. Yeah, that's one of those things that's just a first day situation. Eighth grade math teacher kept telling to not and wait, not into class with gum. She'd make me spit it out, and I put a new piece right in and start smacking every day. I was disruptive. Oh, I would have been pissed. One time I don't know. I'm pretty sure it wasn't me. I never brought food to class, but someone had food, and one teacher was like, "Do you have enough to share with everyone?" And oh wait, no. What am I saying? This is a Calvin and Hobbes strip. Oh my gosh, it didn't happen in real life. It was Calvin and Hobbes. But basically, what happened was he had some gum, and the teacher was like, "Calvin, do you have enough to share with the rest of the class?" And he's like, he pulled the gum out. It's like a big old lump. He's like, "Sure, but I don't think they want it. Like, do you really think they want to have my gum?" And yeah, it was just a genius moment. I'm like, yeah, it's a pretty stupid question. Like, why? No, I don't have enough to share. I don't. You should have thought. You should have thought different. You should have prepared yourself. You knew it was going to be a long class. Calvin Hobbes Chewing Magazine. Yep, exactly. Calvin Hobbes is a masterpiece. I wish that we could see it in animated form one day, though. I know that's not Bill Larson's intention, but I would love to see that animated. Although, admittedly, I don't know who would voice Calvin, what that would even sound like. Would it feel weird? What do you guys think? If they were to make a live action Calvin, or not live action, I'm sorry, excuse me. If they were to make an animated Calvin Hobbes show or movie, do you think it would be weird hearing their voices? Because for something like that, you only read it. You only read with the voice in your heads, and everyone's got a slightly different sound. So I'm curious. But I guess that happens with movies and shows that are based off of a book like Harry Potter, or even something like history. Like Abraham Lincoln. They make whenever they make a movie about him, we don't know what his voice sounded like, as far as I know. Maybe there's some old recording. I doubt they have it, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. Wow, funny when memories get mixed up like that. I know, right? I read Calvin Hobbes so much that it literally made me think I'd experienced some of those things in real life. That is freaking bizarre when you really think about it. I wasn't a teacher, but I worked in behavioral health and had to run therapeutic groups. Pro tip, you can make anything sound therapeutic if you use the right words, which we have to for notes. Interesting. I'll have to keep that in mind. She paddled me in 8th grade in front of the class to try to humiliate me, and I laughed. I was furious. Oh my gosh, you're like the Joker. She loved my twin brother, saw us in the movies on time, gave him a hug, and leered at me. Oh my gosh, yeah, you must have been a menace. No, I want Calvin Hobbes preserved in comic form forever. Fair enough, I get that. That behavior would not fly in Africa. You'd be you'd be dead and not in a figurative sense. Oh geez. Okay. Don't get your professors in trouble, bro. I know it was the crazy stuff I did. I was a huge brat. The school suspended me a few times, but my parents were teachers, so I got away with more things at school. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that is an eclectic background, Amanda. I never got into trouble at any point. Like I was always too afraid to get in trouble for stuff. At least any serious trouble. There was one time, this one still makes me upset to this day, where I was in class. We had a substitute teacher. It was 7th grade science, and he was really trying to hone in on the students who were talking in class. And I dropped a pencil on the floor, and I didn't even say anything. I was just pointing to let the person next to me know I was trying to get the pencil. And he's like, "Jordan, stop talking in class." I was like, I didn't say anything. He's like, "Go out in the hallway." I was like, "Dude, I didn't do anything." And there were even people in the class jumping in. It's like, "No, he just wanted his pencil. He didn't say anything." He's like, "No, I don't want to hear it. I want to hear it. Go in the hallway." And I was like, "You gotta be kidding me." I was like 12. I'm still mad about this. Because it was so uncalled for. It wasn't, I didn't even do anything, it was just cruel. No, I was so bad. My mom sent me to boot camp. Oh my gosh, you went to boot camp? So wild. He's a wild child. All right, how's Kayla look? Oh, Kayla's not looking too bad. She's bald, but other than that, she's bald and missing a couple fingers, but she's not looking too bad. I think it's going all right. Probably needs a back though. And actually, let's bring this a little bit more. Where's my reference? Okay. So I don't think I've ever drawn Kayla with her hair like this. So I'm just gonna kind of make it up as I go. We're gonna see what this looks like. Her hair almost looks like Javen's right now with this point. But she's got a little bit more flair. You know, now that I think about it, I think I know what her hair right here was inspired by. First off, you know, a lot of black women will kind of put hair to one side, and I took a lot from Amalna Stenberg. But now that I really think about it, I wonder if some of it had to do with Hercules. Because if you look at Disney's Hercules, I just put this together right now. I kid you not. If you look at his hair right here, he's got this one strand, and the fact that it's also orange, Kayla having red hair. Oh wait, it's not going to show up. I wonder if that was some sort of subconscious reference, because I don't really know what else to do with this information. But yeah. Also, I just realized giving him red hair or orangish hair in a red headband is a very unique choice. Like, I'm surprised they didn't use blue or something. But anyway, let's see. I actually didn't go because Mount St. Helens erupted. Oh my gosh. That's so bizarre. Jordan, I had a similar experience in 6th grade. Class was being loud, including me, but I was normally the quiet kid, and teacher said he'd give me detention. Everyone went silent because they were shocked. I never did get detention, and now I think he wanted to just shock everyone to being quiet, and that was the easiest way to do it. He was one of my favorite teachers. Dang. Well, you were talking, though, so that's slightly called for. Me, I was innocent. You know what I should do? I should go back to my school because it's within driving distance of me. And I should just get a bunch of 7th and 8th graders to hold up signs saying "Free Jordan." That's what I should do. We didn't even have detention. I literally just went into the hallway for about like 3 minutes. But it never made sense to me because I was like, how do you expect me to learn if I'm in the hallway? How does that work? I didn't even say anything. I don't even remember the name of the substitute teacher. He's probably long gone. All right, so let's get Kayla's fingers in here. One trick I like to do with hands is grouping the middle and ring fingers together, if I can. Just makes the grouping a little bit easier. Ooh, I got a new Shadowboxers follower. That's awesome. I don't know who this is. Probably not someone watching the stream, but I will take it. Amanda got me Googling if St. Helens is a disease. I mean, I'm sure you could get a disease if you're by Mount St. Helens. That's actually hilarious. Haven't thought about Mount St. Helens in a minute. Yes, but I wasn't the only one or even the loudest. That teacher was great, though. He was very nice, and we could get him off topic by asking about his dog or the Green Bay Packers. We used to have a teacher like that. One of my history teachers. He was so interesting because he's just one of those people that just has a plethora of knowledge, but he doesn't really know what to do with it, so he teaches. And not just about his subject, just anything. And so we asked him random questions. Like, I remember one time someone asked him what his religion was because he knew so much about all this stuff. And he's like, I'm anything but an atheist. And he went on this lengthy explanation talking about his thoughts, and it was so intriguing. And we would do this when there was like 20 minutes left of class. And he ended up taking a sabbatical in the second semester, and so I didn't get to have him the full time. But he was so awesome. I'm not gonna say his name for privacy's sake, but yeah, he was really really cool. I think your ear might be a little low. Let's raise it, raise the bar of her ear. What am I doing? Oh yeah, let me change out the song right quick. Let's see what this one is. No, not doing that. She said my St. Helens, and I was confused. It was like a skin thing. Okay, that's more believable, but that's really funny. Still getting used to Clip Studio. Still doesn't feel quite as natural. But it's all good. Okay, and then here's some ponytail. This here. No, I actually don't like this song. I changed my mind. This one we just listened to. I need more options for songs, I think. Wait, what? Those songs sound exactly the same. What in the world is going on? Okay, here we go. Sorry, I'm just like trying to figure out the soundtrack. I wasn't the worst kid in my school, though. One kid burned down our school. We were out of school for like 2 months, and the rest of the school year we were in trailers. No way. What? That's crazy. I hope no one got hurt. That sounds really scary. Yeah, my educational background is hectic. Where did you guys go to school? My gosh. I don't know. That is something. I've never heard of such a thing. Okay, so the kid who lit the school on fire, was that, I assume it was an accident, but how did he do it? Because you don't just walk around with orange juice in your backpack and homework and just set a school on fire. So I'm really trying to figure this out. You know, that sounds like a very unusual circumstance, and it is. One thing I'm learning, I gotta draw these characters faster. I think part of it is just because my focus is divided. You guys know how I be on streams. I hardly remember half the sentences I say sometimes. Okay, we got the 3 stripes on for shorts. He did it with fire, Jordan. Don't make me block you, Mark. I kind of figured fire was involved, but I'm trying to figure out, is he lighting the school on fire? Is he playing with matches and trying to show someone a trick? What's the deal with that is what I'm trying to figure out. Nothing like that happened in my school, but there were definitely some morons. One kid tried to kick a paper clip into a light socket. Yeah, that's totally moronic. Like, first of all, there's so many more things you could be doing with your time. Second of all, how do you even kick a paper clip with that much precision? Like, I could understand flicking it a little bit more, but yeah, that's just dumb. Okay, he snuck into the school late at night and went into the chemistry lab and started a fire. The only reason any bit of the school survived was because the milkman saw it at 3 a.m. I didn't even know we had a milkman. I only thought milkmen existed in the 1950s. I didn't even know. Wow. And I also thought that was only for movies. I didn't realize that was a thing. No, though we did have at least one serious bomb threat. Oh my gosh, where? Okay, I'm with Mark. Where was that thing that he said? Um, where did you guys go to school? My gosh, yeah, that's I echo that statement even more now. That sounds absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. All right. So here we go. We got Kayla right now. As I look at this, as I zoom out, her arms are way too small. Way too small. Probably should have been zoomed out for most of the time, but you know, it is what it is. Okay. And then also this angle of this arm is off too. That's way too high up. Wanted to exaggerate a bit, but it just seems like that's an impossible thing to do. I don't know anyone who can do that, with the exception of maybe someone who's double jointed. Let's get rid of this area. I wasn't in the class, but from what I understand, he stuck the paperclip partway in the light socket and then gave it a good kick. Oh, okay, got it. That would make a lot more sense. He's still a moron, but that makes more sense. No, he just wanted to burn the school down. I had a student this year at one of my junior highs and started a fire in the room next to mine while I was teaching. Oh my gosh. What in the world? How come we never hear about these stories on the news? Maybe it's in the local news, I guess, but wow. Rural Minnesota, the threat happened during snow week, and at that point, there was no protocol, so we were evacuated and had to wait hours to be picked up by parents. The threat 3 days in a row. Jeez. I pulled the fire alarm. Apparently, no one takes that seriously because the office told everyone to go back to class. Most kids got out of school the rest of the week when my parents made us go anyway. You know what's crazy is the level of the danger of both of your stories like coincided with each other. So it's like an intercut on a movie. You're just hearing one bad thing and then another bad thing, another bad thing, but they're all like kind of related. That's pretty funny. Um, Okay, so one thing I'm not sure about is the back. Something about it feels like it's too long, maybe. It's like this section right here feels too long. I wonder if I can adjust that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the worst thing that happened in my school, and it was nowhere near that. I think the worst things that happened while I was at school were someone getting in an accident using like the woodcutter, or actually one student had a chunk of ice fall on her head, and I think she got a concussion. This happened at RISD. You RISD students, you guys remember that? It was like 2014. We had a winter that was like that had like like 6 or 7 feet of snow or something crazy like that. Maybe I'm exaggerating that slightly, but I remember it was bad. This was also about 20 years ago, before there was a school shooting every week. Your parents sound African. Nothing apart from death should make one miss school. Oh my goodness. It's funny because like I didn't necessarily like school growing up, but I also knew I shouldn't miss it. I guess that's probably due to responsibilities and stuff. But I don't know. Like I had a very 50-50 relationship with my school. It was just like whatever. Art school was way better, way better, a lot more fun. Okay, let's see. We got some bass a base drawing laid out. See if we can get some basic colors in too. I'm not sure how well this is going to work considering how sketchy everything is. Let me ask you guys, would you prefer me to do a second character drawing or to just finish up this Kayla at the risk of not doing another character, just out of curiosity? Because I don't know what's more entertaining for you guys. Those icicles on Kongan, wild. Oh yeah, wait a second. Let me see if I can bring those up. I have a picture on my Instagram of the icicles, and they were absolutely insane. And by insane, I mean like several feet long. I'm gonna have to scroll for a little while. But yeah, they were like 3 or 4 feet long or something. Just out of this world ridiculous. It wasn't even necessary. I don't know who thought that was a good idea to just allow it to be that bad. Although I remember one time, I think this was my senior year, and I had a senior portfolio class at RISD. And there was one day where our teacher had been preparing us for like 3 weeks. He was like, "All right, guys, this Wednesday, big crit. Everyone's gonna have their stuff and present." And it was so anxiety inducing, which I don't think critique should be like that personally. I think getting feedback should just be normal, as much as possible. There's always going to be a little bit of anxiety when you're showing your work to people who may not like it, but it was almost anxiety inducing. And I remember we woke up and my roommate at the time, he had the same class as me. We were getting ready for class, and he's like, "Dude," like, "what?" It's like, "Check your email." And so apparently there was a major snowstorm, and all classes were canceled. So what he did was he had us post all our stuff on Google Doc, and just everyone commented, and it was the chillest situation. It was great. I'm still trying to find those icicles too. Where is it? Here we go. I found the icicles. Yeah. So look at that. Absolute insanity. I don't even know how long those are, but yeah, they were there for weeks. And they actually had to build scaffolding so they wouldn't fall on us. The funny thing is my mom had no problem keeping us home if we were in school, and even let me skip school one day to take me to a museum 2 hours from us for a Mount Vesuvius exhibit. That's pretty cool. Dang, y'all, as soon as I got my driver's license, my teachers let me go off campus and do errands for them because they didn't want me in their class. My dad was livid when he found out. Yeah, I would be too. I like to see an Aletha drawing. The girl doesn't get much love no matter no wonder she's mad all the time. Oh, okay. We'll do Aletha. All right, because this one is just going to be this one's just going to be simple color then. Let's see. I feel like I draw Aletha relatively often, but I guess not. Whoa, that was weird. And then I can go on top and just fill everything in pink. Technically, it's more like a magenta. I'll do the rest later. But we got a quick Kayla drawing. We're not so quick. It took me an hour to do this rough sketch. I blame it on trying to talk and draw at the same time, and read comments and all that. Like what I'm realizing is just how much artists really need silence in order to work properly and efficiently. It's definitely something that can't really pass up. Imagine if that was the reason she's a villain. She knows the creator, spends all his time developing the other characters, and not much time on her. Ow, that actually hurts. um, let me see. Anyone else ever break off massive icicles to have an effective sword fight? Oh my goodness. I've wondered that before, and one day she might just choose to rebel against the creator. Man, I hope not, because she's pretty dangerous. Wait, Mark, there are actual stories like that? um, yeah, I guess so. Icicles are rare in this part of the world. Oh yeah, that's true. They would be, huh? Because y'all are by the equator. Um, but I made straight A's. I did the work, but I was just so bored in class. Sorry about that. And I don't think I've ever seen an icicle. It's overrated. It's basically just a spiky piece of ice. That's all it really is. Um, although I heard some really morbid joke one time, and it was saying if you were to um, unalive someone. You guys catch my drift when I say that. I think YouTube like flags that type of stuff. Anyway, if you were to do that, an icicle would be the best weapon because it would just melt. I don't know how true that really is, but I mean it seems logical. I don't know. I've never tried it out. I don't plan on experimenting with it, but apparently that's an option. Okay, so we got Kayla here, and now she can join the group with her cool poses. Wait, not those drawings. These ones. Once I clean her up a little bit, she needs a little bit more time to simmer. I give her some shadow, give her powers and stuff. But I think she'll fit right in, and Kayla will not be blocking Aletha in the composition. And Jaden will probably have a different pose too. Oh, I forgot to fill in her teeth. She got like lime green teeth right now. Cute. Anyway, let's do Aletha. We have some old Aletha sketches. Let me see if any of those need. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's not fun enough. There's a. I don't think I like the Aletha ones that we did, with the exception of this one. I think this is the only one I really like. This one was a challenge, but we're gonna do one with her mask on. Oh, there's another Kayla. That's kind of cute. We could have inked this one. Maybe I'll put that one in the poster. All right, let me find a good pose. So go on, block Aletha, make her matter. Oh my goodness, you just want chaos. All right, so you guys know I have this book right here, The Masters of Anatomy. I'm gonna look and see if I can find some cool reference for her. Any ideas? What can we pull from? Something with her face showing. There's a lot of rear views here. But I want to do something where she's just menacing looking. And I'll show you the reference whenever I pick it out. Ooh. This one's actually kind of cool. It's similar to the other one. There's this pose right here. It's very similar to the other one, but I do like it. I'm not gonna lie, I do like this pose. Let's see. Ooh, okay. I think I know what I want to do. All right, it's either wait, it's backwards. This one or this one. Either of these two. I kind of like the flying one. The flying one just looks really epic. So yeah, I think we're gonna do that. So Mark, your request has been granted. Or answered, whatever you want to call it. I work at a food bank, and when we throw out unusual food, open or expired items, they go in a pig box. A pig farmer picks it up and feeds it to his animals. When people are surprised by this, I tell them pigs are the best way to dispose of a body because they'll eat anything. That is also true. Pigs will eat anything. They'll eat their own children or offspring, which is incredibly disturbing to me. Which is one of the many reasons I refuse to eat pork. There's a few others, but that's one of them. They just eat anything. They're literally like living trash cans. They're cute. They're very cute, though. I will give them that. They are some of the cutest animals. But yeah, not for me. All right, so we got this updated Aletha image. What in the world? Yeah, so I changed up her hair a little bit. Her costume's much simpler to draw, and I actually am really digging this. So, with that said, let's get a rough sketch, so pencil brush, and let's draw Aletha. The reason I love this book so much, though, is because it has sketches in here of poses you will almost never see in a regular anatomy pose book. Most people can't do these poses without being in action or being incredibly uncomfortable. So you'd almost have to have them film this and then take screenshots. Like, that's the only way I can picture them doing it, something like this. So I really, really love this book. It was very much worth the money. That's why pork is so yummy. Chickens also eat anything, by the way. Maybe not as effectively, but they do. Well, I don't eat meat in general, so so there's that. But that's the first I've heard of chickens eating anything. I've only seen them eat like grain and stuff. But fair enough. So the leg here is mostly foreshortened. Okay. Totally gonna be stealing poses from this book when I do the comic or storyboarding of any sort or kind. And it says I wouldn't be surprised chickens are evil. After all the school stories that you just said, that chickens make the list of evil. My goodness. Oh, my brush was just great this whole time. I thought it was drawing with no pressure. There we go. Alright, so we got rib cage, ends right about here. Boom. The waist. Let's get that angle right here. The cool thing about poses too is you can't really copyright a pose. So you can just take whatever reference you like and pretty much no one will know the difference. Although there is one character who I can think of in the entire world whose certain poses are probably like the most recognizable. And I think y'all know who that is. All right, y'all, it's getting late on the East Coast and it's been a long day. I think I'll head out. Great stream, Jordan. Thank you for coming on, Megan. Have a good night. And do those drawers for me, like, so I can see what you're talking about, please, because I want to know. Private Discord conversation, Shadowbox related. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It'll benefit y'all in the long run, though. We had a rooster when I was in high school, raised from a chick who would attack us for no reason, who couldn't turn your back and had to be on guard as soon as you stepped outside. That sounds so dangerous. And I've seen them eat dead rats, and sometimes they eat their own. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Well, I'm suddenly very glad I don't eat chicken anymore. Last time I had chicken, I think it was the year 2016. I think. Might have been 2015. I'm a little fuzzy on that. It's funny. I'm usually really good with dates, but that's like the one thing I don't really fully remember because it happened over a period of time is when I became a vegan. So yeah. Bro, maybe, but I want to draw the other stuff we were talking about. Fine, fine. It shouldn't take that long. I just want to know what you mean. Just do it on one. You want to know? Just do it on one of those sketches. Trigger warning: one of my chickens got its head stuck in the fence, and the other chickens devoured it from the back end while it was still alive. Oh my gosh! Okay, y'all proved it right. I didn't know chickens were that lethal. I really didn't. I'll eat eggs, but not chicken. See, evil. That's kind of behavior is only acceptable in extreme survival situations. Yeah, that just sounds a little too wild. But yeah, that's a severe survival situation. Unfortunately, though, that has happened with humans too. Like there are stories where mothers have had to consume their own children and stuff. Like I don't know if you guys heard about the story of the destruction of Jerusalem back in 70 AD, but yeah, that was horrible. Stuff like that happened. Like it was devastating. I should have said trigger warning. I apologize if I mess with anyone just now, but it is a true story. Okay, I think this neck might be a little long. So we're gonna bring it in. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. All right, and then with her hair, she's falling. So that means her hair is going to be flowing up a bit, but not too much because it's still a big afro. It's not going to be that movable. See, evil. Like, oh wait, chickens are evil velociraptors. That wasn't survival. They had plenty of food. They did it because they wanted evil. Oh my gosh. Okay, we proved that chickens are evil. You know what chicken I do like though? Hey, from Moana. That is one of the funniest chickens, probably the funniest chicken ever. And fun fact about that story, if you guys know the character I'm talking about, apparently when the movie was being made, John Lasseter was like, fix this chicken or fix it by this weekend or he's going to be cut out of the movie. And so what they did is they just gave him the lowest IQ they possibly could. Matter of fact, there was a drawing in the Moana art book, I think. But it might be on Google. I probably can find it, where it was just showing like how dumb he was compared to all the other characters. Jeez. Yeah, this is Hey Hey. He's very much like Monchi from Mitchell's versus the Machines. I'm not sure. I think Hey Hey's dumber though. Monchi just kind of, Monchi just kind of there and just enjoying himself. But yeah. Apparently, I can't find the image. But yeah, that's how they fixed. That's how they fixed it. They just made him super dumb. That really is a funny chicken. He's great, right? If you don't like, hey, something's up. Like I question your decisions. You know. Okay. All right. Mark, is this making you happy? Letha's getting a nice cool pose right here. All right, now the most difficult part though is her mask. Her mask has always been a challenge, but I believe as the creator I can do it. I believe. So one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure I sketch out her mask perfectly. So the way it's structured, you guys can see right here, is it kind of actually comes up to about here, past the hairline. So it covers her whole face. So it's gonna be something like this. And then it's gonna cut back with her almost goblin-like ears. And then the chin, let's say not here. So the chin of the mask is significantly lower than her actual chin. So which does mean that she won't be able to like look down too much. But I think I can get away with having a little bit of freedom with it. Monchi at least helped in some ways, however unintentional. It's so true, right? Always love hearing your thought process. What's up, Victoria? Thank you for coming on the stream. I don't remember any chickens on the island, so I came up with this like Odyssey-esque epic backstory for him. Wait, what? Oh, okay, I missed this comment about how Hey got on the island. I don't know how he got on the island. That's a really good question. They should make a little short film about that. I'm very happy. I don't know about her though. What would make Aletha happy, Jordan? What would make her happy? I don't think anything would make her happy, to be totally honest with you. I think she's just one of those characters that is kind of dry because of just her mode of work and everything. And so I don't see her enjoying too much. She does have soft spots though. She's not void of human affection or things like that, at least not completely. So let me back this up. So this is one of the difficult parts about drawing her outfit is all these like triangles and angles and stuff. Trying to match that and make it feel consistent is definitely a challenge. So oh, actually, yeah, Kathy has a good one. The blood of her enemies. That will probably do it. That will probably make her happy, yeah. There's a joke in a Terry Pratchett book that all the animals end up on an island by clinging to driftwood. Maybe that's what happened with Hey. That's possible. That's very possible, too. Vengeance. Give her a pet chicken. Name him Drumstick. Or a good lunch at Fufu's. She probably shut down Fufu's just being so scary. That's funny. I should just name all the pets after food. So as long as I don't get sued, I'll just be like, all right, this is a pet chicken. His name is McNugget. And this cow is Big Mac. And I'll just do stuff like that. Fish sticks, buffalo wings. That'd actually be really funny. Some of those names I'm sure I couldn't use. I'm pretty sure I couldn't use Big Mac, but it would be funny. By the way, did you guys know that there's actually a vegan McDonald's here in LA called Mr. Charlie's? I kid you not. It is so funny. So apparently, you guys know how they have the Happy Meal for McDonald's? Well, at Mr. Charlie's, they have the Frowny Meal. Look at this. Say nothing, Mr. Charlie's turned that frown upside down. This is real. I've driven past this. I know exactly where this is. It's like 10, 15 minutes from my house. I have yet to actually have it, but I'm very curious. Now, I'm a little nervous, partially because I don't remember if I liked the taste of McDonald's or not, and apparently it tastes just like it, and so I'm a little nervous about going there for that reason. But yeah, like, let me see if I can find their menu. Mr. Charlie's. Let me see. Oh wait, this isn't. Yeah, it's not the same Mr. Charlie's. This is a totally different restaurant. But just amazing. It's very much McDowell's from Coming to America. If you guys know what I'm talking about. I want to go so bad for the branding alone. Come to LA and we will go to Mr. Charlie's. It's incredible. We have the best spots out here in LA. Went to Kevin Hart's restaurant the other night, the Hart House. Excellent. I always love going there. And the one by my house is a drive-through, so there are times where I'm just like, you know what? It's 10 o'clock. I didn't make dinner. I don't feel like cooking it, so I'm gonna just go to the drive-through. And it's so crazy because as an adult, it's kind of bizarre to realize you can do whatever you want sometimes. Like I saw a meme earlier today, and it said, you know what? I'm an adult. I could literally go to the store and buy a chocolate cake and eat the entire thing in one night, and no one can stop me. And I was like, that's so true. We could actually do that as adults, and there's no way in the world I could have done that at 11 years old, 12 years old, or whatever. To be totally honest, I probably wouldn't even do it now, but I've been conditioned by the system to not eat unhelpful helpings of dessert at whatever time I want. Bump the system. They suck. Do I still go to the gym? Yes, I do still go to the gym. I was just there the other day. The one thing I haven't been able to do successfully is get up early and go to the gym. I really want to. I have a hard time waking up early sometimes, especially because I stay up really late, usually working on something, or just my natural body clock. But I want to start getting up at like 5, 6 in the morning, going to the gym, being back before like work technically starts at 9. But I have yet to do that. Sometimes the bed just be too comfortable. Sometimes that's when the best memes are on TikTok, All right, so Aletha's rather buff, so this will be a good time to really angle out some of these muscles here. And then for the neck right here, lots of triangles. What's the biggest celebrity side you've seen in LA? That's kind of a difficult question. I will tell you why. I grew up with kids whose parents were celebrities, like directors and musicians and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll list them, but yeah, it might be kind of it's like a nonchalant thing. It's like, okay, whatever. But let's see, Stevie Wonder. I saw Stevie Wonder at a restaurant about 2 years ago. That one was probably one of my favorites, actually. Even though I didn't see his face, but he was at a restaurant and he ordered like this. And it was amazing. I was like, wow, he actually does do that. Like, that's just his thing. So that was cool. Evan Spiegel, he's the creator of Snapchat. He was my 5th grade buddy when I was in kindergarten. And like, I kid you not, like, we had a buddy system and they wanted to partner you up with someone so that, they could kind of mentor you. And they're like 11, we're 5, 6 years old. But Evan Spiegel was my 5th grade buddy. And so, and now he's worth like billions of dollars. Last I checked, it was 12, but then someone told me it was 2 billion because apparently Snapchat wasn't doing so well. But let me see what his net worth is. 3.1 billion. Okay, so yeah, he's that's a big percentage-wise. That's pretty significant, going from 12 billion to 3 billion. I would still be very happy with $3 billion at 30-something years old. But yeah, who else? Norman Lear. His daughter was my classmate. Norman Lear, he's known for producing shows like The Jeffersons and Good Times back in the 70s. Susanna Haas was a classmate's parent. She was part of, forget the name of the group, but she sang the song Manic Monday in the 80s, like just another Manic Monday. She sang that song. She would sing in our class sometimes. Jack Black came to our grad night when I was in high school because he also attended the same school when he was younger. He was class of 1987. Baron Davis also went to our school, and I've seen him before. I met Magic Johnson. There's actually a picture with me and him on Facebook somewhere. If you guys want, I'll show you the picture. It's gonna take me a second to find it though. But yeah, if you want, as a matter of fact, I'm just gonna ask you if you want me to show you the Magic Johnson. Just put the number 1 in the chat, and I'll find it. But I don't want to, just go around looking for it if you guys don't really care to see it. Who else? Romeo Miller, Lil Romeo, the rapper. Met him once when I was like 8 he was apparently playing basketball at our school gym, and we heard about it. I don't even know how I heard about it, but I literally broke the rules and just ran off, not off campus. It was just another building. And I was like hyperventilating because I was running the whole time, trying to like be stealthy. And I was like, "Hey man," he's like, "What's up?" And that was it. And I ran back down. I think those are the most significant ones. Although I did go to school with some people who are now like A and B list actors now. Like I have one classmate. I'm not gonna say her name, but I've been on like Instagram and TikTok and stuff, and I'll see ads for this movie, and I'm like, "Is that so and so?" And sure enough, it is. So yeah, I've seen quite a few celebrities, but I think part of it was just because I just happened to grow up around them, and it wasn't really a big deal because they're just people at the end of the day. And growing up, and especially, it's funny because with social media, somehow I feel like celebrities are less impressive than they used to be. I don't know if that's just me growing up. I don't know if it's because social media and you can see them doing their own thing behind the scenes. Like some people post a video of them on the couch on TikTok or whatever. It might be a combination of those things, but that's something that I find rather interesting. I know it's a long answer to a short question, but hopefully that satisfies. I randomly bake cakes and eat them in a day or two with my wife because we're adults and we have an oven. The question is, did Stevie see you? I doubt it for several reasons. Mark, I wanted to make a remark, but I bit my tongue. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I didn't see Stevie's face. I just saw the back of him. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I will say this, he is the one person I really, really need to see in concert. Especially because he's getting up there, and we can't afford to lose Stevie. Like, Stevie is a gem. He is a gem. And no one can tell me otherwise. Okay, so this is one of those moments where I gotta be careful, especially in the chest with Aletha, because she has the insignia, but also she's got this couple of patterns on her. Maybe because the breasts are actually a little high. Let's move those down a bit. Yeah, there we go. That's better. And then the abs. I think Stevie is like Daredevil, and he does that head tilt thing as echolocation. Interesting. I'd never even thought about that. I always just thought it was kind of fun and quirky. But I bet he does do it for a specific reason. It could be that. It could be echolocation. I don't know if he's ever talked about it. I do know that he seems to be very chill about the fact that he's blind. Like, he'll make jokes about it all the time, and I think it's the most wholesome thing ever. Like, he did this thing. Who's the late night talk show host who drives in the cars with everybody? I think his name starts with the C. What is his name? Is it Cole something? He's like this. I think he's like English or British, but anyway, he did one with Stevie Wonder, and Stevie was talking about like, "Hey man, why don't you let me drive?" And just all this stuff. He just seems like a really good-natured man. Matter of fact, I found this out a couple of years ago. Apparently, back when he was a kid or a teenager, my aunts used to do his hair, because they were living in the same area, or they would be on tour and stuff. And he was just a kid at this point. He was 17 or whatever, famous, but not Stevie like Intervision, Sir Duke, and songs in the Key of Life yet. But yeah, they used to do his hair. They said nothing but great things about him. Um, let's see, James Corden. Yes, that dude. Yes. Why you say Wait, there's something wrong with James Corden that I don't know. Also, Amanda, you literally do have the wildest educational experience. That is so true. Yo, love the post so far, man. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. I think this leg is actually a little thin here. Yeah, there was a complaint that Aletha didn't get enough love, so we had to fix that. Okay, and now looks like the only thing left is her shoes. Now, one thing about Aletha that I am thankful for is the fact that she does wear basically a skin tight suit, and I know that sounds really weird to say, but what I mean by that is that I can just focus on like figure drawing fundamentals while drawing her, and think about, is the anatomy correct, and then I can just draw her suit on top. So she's basically designed kind of like a superhero, which is really, really useful for what I'm doing. Yeah. And then simplifying her suit really does make such a big difference. Oh my goodness. You guys have no idea how much of a pain in the neck she was to draw before. I'm not sure I like this arm. James is apparently not the nice person he likes to portray himself as. Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, I don't really I try not to follow celebrities like that, so I genuinely had no idea. But there's another celebrity who I do know there's another celebrity who has a similar reputation, that I was kind of surprised by. Who was it? Oh, this is gonna drive me crazy. You know what? I might just be thinking Bill Cosby. Honestly, I might just be thinking about that because um, I was watching reruns of the Cosby Show, and now that I'm older, I'm looking at things from a slightly different perspective, and I'm looking at how he interacts with Lisa Bonet in particular, and she apparently was the quote unquote problem child, and she said that there was always a very strange aura about him, and she's also like just some conversations I've heard about working with him, about how strict he was on set, and how different he was from the character that he played, Cliff Huxtable. And it's really bizarre because, like that, like you never would have guessed that he would be accused of the things that he was accused of while watching that character interact with everyone. And it's very, very, it's very, very strange. It's very, very strange. Kat says also he's just embarrassing. Kathy, I'm pretty sure you're the one who showed me the one, the him singing in the car with everyone. I feel like that was your doing. But with James Corden though, what do they say about him specifically? Like you guys say he's not the nice person that people think he is, but what about him is not nice? Help me understand it. Because realistically, I probably won't go look this up myself. So you guys are gonna have to be my spokespeople for a man that I assume none of you have met in person or know. Okay, one thing about this character sheet that I need to fix, I don't have her front view of her mask on here anywhere. So let me let me go find that. Here we go. Close enough. Colors are off, but I don't really need the colors right now. Tip of the iceberg, I can guarantee you that. I think he really peaked in his 2 cameo episodes of Doctor Who. Did you watch Cats? James Corden is in that. I didn't watch it, no. I saw the trailer and decided not to watch it. He's just taking the concept too far. That Stevie one was just particularly good. One thing I did hear about that was that there was like a truck pulling the car, so no one was actually driving, which does make sense. And I honestly don't blame him for doing that, because last thing you need is to be in the car with Ariana Grande or Whoopi Goldberg or whatever and get into an accident because you're trying to listen to music too loud. Like that has a whole bunch of insurance problems waiting to happen. So, yeah. Well, let's get this one. This mask is really, really tricky to draw, guys. Might even just redo it. It was one of those masks that seemed like a good idea at the time, but I never thought about having to redraw over and over again. So I'm not saying I would like completely change everything, but it's one of those things where I'm like, let's think about this a little bit more clearly. But I like the design so much that I don't really want to change it. I feel like that's what gives her character, her look, you know? This is kind of creepy, African mask inspired aesthetic. And this like Joker smile. Like if I saw someone walking around and they had a glowing mask with this face on it, I'd be pretty freaked out, honestly. Waiters tell stories on the internet about their interactions with James Corden. One of the owners of a big fancy restaurant banned him for the way he treated staff. Oh, that's terrible. I read that he's a "do you know who I am" type of Karen at restaurants in particular. I didn't follow up much after. Grossness. Forgot about them being pulled by a truck. I guess Stevie really could have driven. He's been unbanned from that restaurant now, but publicly humiliated. There's a huge joke in England that James came over here because they hate him so much over there. Yeah, the British absolutely hate him. I did not know any of this. That is so interesting to me. Yeah, that is all news. All news. Not that affects my life in any way, shape, or form. Like, I'm not even sure what to do with this information now that I am aware. But, yeah. Okay, this is tricky. So, I think I might have to redraw this mask, but I think what I'm going to have to do first is draw her face, because her face has to match up. So, matter of fact, let's actually, no, I have the file open. I don't need to do that. She's got a pretty pointy chin, let's say about here. Ears about there. Goal is I can just place her eyes and her nose in the right spot. Then chances are the mask will fit much better. Okay, that's looking okay. Oh my goodness, it's already 8 o'clock. Where did the time go? So let's just say that is probably about right for her head. Now I can just lower the opacity here and go back in with the mask and just try and get that right. Can the mask, how do I put this, alter the glowiness for infiltration or just have the eyes glowing in the darkness? Wait, what? I'm trying alter the glowiness for infiltration or just have the eyes glowing in the darkness. Yeah, she has control over it. She has control over when they glow, but I think she just likes this mode because it's creepy. Do your young church friends still ask about shout boxes? Did they give up? I actually haven't seen them in a while. They haven't come in a couple weeks, but yeah. But it's okay though. It's okay. They're still like the really young ones, but they think everything that's not realistic is just weird. So I did like a chibi version of Javen one time because they wanted to draw on my iPad, and I was drawing, and they're like, "He looks weird. Why is his face like that? Why are his eyes so big?" And I was kind of offended because I was like, "Yo, you're like 4. I could so rag on your drawing right now, but I'm not gonna do that because I don't believe in that." So I'm just sitting there like, okay, I guess they think it's weird. Okay, you know. Don't worry, guys. I don't torture 4-year-olds with, telling them they have less than stellar drawings. That's not cool. And if you believe it's cool, then it's not. It's not. Imagine Aletha trying to be sneaky and her face is glowing in the dark. Yeah, she has control over it. That's actually one of the things I'm really excited about because most of what she can do has not, I've not revealed at all. And she's got quite a few tricks up her sleeve. Alright, so that's good enough for now. This circle is too small. I need to spend the time just practicing drawing this mask so I can just be more proficient at it. Because she's very, very tough. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe when she's like really beat up, the glow on the mask glitches, that would be so rad. That actually is a cool idea. That's not a bad idea at all. I will say to her, I'll say this though, there's more to her than just her mask in terms of what she can do and her appearance. That's all I'm going to say. All right, then let's get her hair. She can probably move up this ear too. Let's get rid of this tangent because that's going to bother me. I don't like tangents. I was referred to as the tangent police at art school occasionally. I would just see them all the time. It just bothers me to no end. If I ever made an art book, and I would have like an instruction or something like about composition, I would totally be talking about not creating tangents. Because it's usually such an easy fix. It's just like scale this, especially digitally. It's like scale this up, scale this down, move this left, move this right. But some people refuse to listen. So she used to have like a extra little ponytail. Now it's just kind of one big shape. I actually like it much more this way. She's kind of giving mullet vibes, and I was like, I think she's too cool for a mullet. You know what I mean? Oh, you could have an episode where she's beat up so bad and she has the glitchy thing and can't get her mask off, and she's hungry and thirsty but can't eat or drink. Then Drumstick comes and picks her, controls, or whatever. That's free. Oh my gosh, you're better than AI, man. I saw Drumstick pecks at her and thought Aletha was going to be eaten alive by a chicken. That would be a terrible way for her to go, or anyone really. Oh man, man's like, not the chickens again. That would be how the story ends in my version, but Jordan might think differently. That would definitely be like a parody ending right there. That's like a robot chicken episode. Definitely what that is. A robot chicken. All right. Oh man, I forgot her hand. That's probably a necessity. She's not Luke Skywalker. She needs both of her hands. Okay. That's a very tiny hand. Let's fix that. She needs something more substantial. There needs to be a side store just for animal sidekicks. I'll make an Animal Farm type of story and just have them battle it out. Who's in charge? Get some Orwellian stuff in Shadowboxers. That's so cool to me. The fact that his name is Orwell, George Orwell, but Orwellian has almost become a genre in itself. That's so cool. Star Wars reference out of left field. Yeah, it was out of left field, but it made sense. Mark says, any tips on foreshortening? Oh, yes. Okay, so I could bring up my lecture, but we will. I'll just go off memory. Basically, foreshortening is all about overlapping. So if I were to draw an arm, like let's say, I'm going to use my lightning bolt technique. If I were to draw an arm like this, you'll notice that there really isn't any overlap except for maybe in the muscles. But that's really it. If I was to draw an arm coming out towards me, it's all based on what objects overlap what. So that same arm was reaching out. One of the things that I like to do is just start off with really basic shapes. I think it's actually incredibly helpful here. I won't say more than anything else, but especially here. I also like to start with the things that are closest to me so that I can kind of imagine, at least when it comes to doing details. So start with the thing that's closest to me. Therefore, I know everything behind it is going to have to be smaller. And if you notice, there's still going to be more arm back here. If you were to see like the X-ray, his wrist is right here. This arm is actually the same length as this one. but it all comes down to overlap. So in these situations, what I would do, I'll make sure that I'm thicker with my line weight at a point of overlap, like here or here. This would be the brachioradialis for the forearm, this area. This would be your upper arm, your bicep area right here. So I might have like a tiny line showing the bicep there. And I could even show a little bit of the tricep if I really wanted to. And then I could have the shoulder. But again, notice the overlaps. Notice how little space there is between here, the shoulder, the bicep, and the forearm compared to here. The rest of it, can come from measuring angles. So if you have a photo reference, I think it's really good to kind of measure and say, okay, the arm is this far away from the head, and you're kind of doing this type of stuff. So that's a really good tip. Yeah, and just take it slow. Really, just take it slow. I wouldn't recommend rushing foreshortening at all because it's very challenging. But it's really just the science of just bringing things forward. And truthfully, you actually use foreshortening all the time and don't realize it. Because, for example, my nose is foreshortened. I don't have a very big nose, at least not when it sticks out like that, but it is foreshortened. If I'm, here, obviously her arm is foreshortened, her leg is foreshortened, but the hips or the chest is kind of coming at an angle. This arm is going further back into space, so I would treat it as the opposite. If I were to do something like this, then I might say, okay, here's my shoulder, here's my arm, here's my lower arm, and then there's the hand. So find reference, get the proper overlaps, and just practice a lot, and you should be good. But does that help? I hope that helps. Spoilers, if you're basing it on an animal farm, then we already know pork chop wins. Fair enough. That's a good point. Well, it is 8:15, and I'm pretty much done with Aletha here. I mean, I could probably spend another minute or two just make sure I have all the details in her suit. But we're basically done. So we did this Aletha and we did this Kayla, who I'll have to finish up. I may or may not do that in the next stream. I might just do it in the middle of the week and post it later or something. But you guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in to the Joe McFo Show this evening. And we're going to be doing more Shadow Boxer stuff unless y'all have other ideas. If you have an idea for a stream you'd like to see, put it in the comments beneath this video when it's done, and we can see what we can arrange. But everyone else, have a wonderful evening, and we'll check back in next week. Peace.